Welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy today's story, The Flower Girl, by Olivia Julius. There were only two girls in the whole school Mom warned me about talking to. Trina and Chara were the two most mysterious girls I'd ever met. They were the only twins in my class, and not only were they identical, but they did everything together. If Tara went to band camp, Trina came too, and when Trina started playing basketball in middle school, Tara was right there to try out for the team with her. The town always had something to say about them though. Often, I would hear rumors about them saying that they are witches. Others claimed that their mother is possessed by demons, which lead to the two girls to be infested. All I knew for certain was that weird things happened when they were around. Once we graduated from high school, I finally got up enough courage to disobey Mom and the town's bias and ask Tara out, and on that same day Trina's boyfriend asked her to marry him. At first, hanging around Tara seemed normal. We watched movies, went bowling, went out to eat. But then as Trina's wedding grew closer, I started to notice things. At first, they seemed normal, like how she could make things like traffic lights change in her favor. But then the weird thing happened one night a week before Trina's wedding, something that would change the lives of me and Tara forever. We stayed at the girls' house as the two looked over last minute's details about the wedding. I wanted to leave, but I was also hoping that once this was over, Tara and I would leave to do something special. So, Justin, why did you reject Kevin's offer to be one of his groomsmen in the wedding? Trina asked as the two finished rewrapping the wedding dress in plastic. I don't do weddings. I said, I'll go to it because it's your wedding, but there is no way I'll be in it. I said. The two girls looked at each other for a second, smiled, and for a moment I thought the conversation was over. Okay Justin, I'll tell you what. We need a little break, so I'll play you in basketball. If you win, you can decide not to be in the wedding. But if you lose, you have to be in the wedding front and center, Tara said, smiling. I didn't like the odds of the bet. When I was in high school, I was the best on the Rich City High School boys team and Tara was the best on the girls. I thought for a moment, running the stats in my head. Deal, I said, hoping I didn't make a big mistake. The two smiled and walked out of the room with me following. I had no idea what I had just done. Their basketball court was just a section of the driveway. We would play half court like we normally did, and trying not to hit the large pothole in the center of the driveway. I got ready to play while Tara smiled and gave an "I got this" wink to Trina. For a moment I wasn't sure, but I thought I could see Tara and Trina talking to each other. Not in speech, but some other unworldly way. Okay, so to make this long story short, I got my butt kicked. I bowed my head and walked over to the girls. I had been defeated, and now I was going to have to be in the wedding in front of everyone wearing a tux. Do what you must, I said, giving up. I now had to wear a tux in front of everyone. I had to stand up there and watch as Trina got married instead of sitting in the back pew of the church texting away on my phone. Tara looked at Trina, who was looking back at me smiling. I closed my eyes, and in that point my life was over. I felt it before I saw it. It felt like my foot was asleep, plus it felt like it was getting sucked into itself, become smaller. I opened one eye and then both in pure panic. My black Nikes were turning white. At first it was just the sole of the shoe and I had dismissed it as paint or something. But then it started growing to the other parts, smoothing out the shoe as it went. I tried to take it off, but the shoe was stuck on my foot. I looked at the two girls who were standing over me watching. The laces disappeared, and a single strap was left that went over my foot. On one side of the shoe was a silver-looking buckle. To be honest, it looked just like a little girl's dress shoe. I dared not look at it as it went from the shoes to my socks. My black socks became as white snow and started to get thinner. It crept up my legs, getting thinner and thinner, the forming around my leg, which was getting smaller and smaller by the second. I felt my boxers shrink and become more rounder around my butt, and the tights came up and around them into my waist. It crept up to my shorts, where instantly the legs started fusing together. I watched it motionless as fear took over. The shorts were turning into a skirt, and then as if there was an explosion, the skirts puffed out and what was now the hem went just above ankles. Netting and laces peeled out of the skirt to make it look fuller. I tried to take it off, but my shirt was somehow connected to it. Every time I pulled on the skirt, my shirt would follow, as if someone took a needle and thread and sewed the two pieces together. I felt my penis go into my body and my insides were rearranging. I could feel the new parts coming into existence in my body as the old parts no longer existed. The skirt took over where the shirt was and went to just below my chest. Then my shirt got tighter and started to change material. The sleeves shrunk rapidly till they were just capping my shoulder. In the back a zipper started to form and lay in the back, making me trapped in it. A large pink sash came around me and tied in the back, making the dress tighter with my new curve of my body. The dress went from being whatever colors my shirt and shorts were to all pink, making the new dress complete. I could feel my face change a little as my stubble of what little beard I had was taken away and younger features started to come out. Then, as if the top of my head just exploded, my hair came sprouting out and down past my shoulders, but it wasn't there for long as curls started to form within my hair. I grabbed the hair and looked at the brunette strands of hair. After a long pause I opened my eyes. Tina and Trina were now taller than me. I stepped back in fear and Trina started to laugh. I looked at the dress. I couldn't see my feet through all the lace and netting, keeping the dress looking fuller. "What did you do?" I asked, looking at the two girls. "Well, you didn't want to be a groomsman, so we made you a flower girl instead," Trina said, still smiling at me. My eyes went wide as the two burst out laughing. I wanted to run, but I feared what the two girls could do to me if I did.